The Dinosaur Astronaut, or the Saurian Voyager as he preferred, moved through the neon-lit canyons of the city with a heavy, rhythmic grace. To the humans, he was an anomaly in a pressurized suit. To him, they were a curious, frantic species of clever mammals occupying his ancestral home. Everyone on Earth knows him, but now the crowds ignore him. He was just old news. He had become a part of the landscape. Occasionally, a bold local would approach, hoisting a glowing rectangle to capture a selfie. He leaned in with practiced patience. He had learned that for this species, adornment was about being seen next to something significant, something that made them feel permanent. It hadn't always been this peaceful. Upon his arrival, he was interred in a subterranean fortress, poked and prodded by fearful men. He had eventually bought his freedom with truth, spilling secrets of the stars until they realized he was merely a harmless explorer. They left him alone now, fueled by a cocktail of respect and existential dread. They didn't dare harm him. They had learned. If his tales were true, his people possessed the power to snuff out their sun. They had already made that mistake once. He still felt the phantom ache in his shoulder where their primitive rounds had pierced his hide. He didn't blame them. He had been arrogant. I expected mud huts and stone spears, he thought, adjusting his breather. I didn't expect a species on the cusp of the atom. He had stepped out of his craft, hand raised in a universal gesture of peace. They had seen a monster and opened fire. He survived only because of the staggering biological gulf between them. His kin were forged from cold blood and thick, regenerative scales. These were traits that allowed his ancestors to endure the vacuum of space long before these mammals had even learned to walk upright. The humans laughed when he told them he was a local. They had pieced together a history from bone fragments and dust, an incomplete fiction. They couldn't conceive of the sprawling, iridescent metropolises that once covered the earth hundreds of thousands of years ago, glowing with life. His people had conquered the stars and moved on, leaving only silence behind when a cataclysm severed the tether between colonies and cradle. His people told him nothing remained, yet he wanted to see for himself. He had hundreds of years to live, and he was bored. Walking these sunny, smog-choked streets, he felt a pang of mourning. The earth had changed so much in his long absence. The past, a lush, emerald world with a gentle climate and a sky teeming with life, a paradise lost to the tides of time. The present, a barren, harsh rock where life struggled for every breath, a world of steel and smoke where nature hides in the cracks. Yet he felt a strange kinship with these creatures. They were survivors, fighting to endure just as his people once did. They had taken his antique ship, a vessel that could skim light, and were currently stripping it for parts, hungry for its secrets. Their technology was primitive, echoing his ancestors' earliest attempts at steam and steel, but they were learning at a terrifying pace. His arrival had shattered their ego. They now knew they weren't the first masters of Earth, nor were they the most formidable. They understood now that their civilization sat on the same precipice his own once did, a turning point in their young history. The choice was theirs to make, leap to the stars or perish in the dust, a decision that would define their entire future. As he watched a child stare up at him in wonder, the Saurian smiled behind his visor. He saw hope in that small, curious face. He had traveled across the burning throat of the universe to find alien life, only to find it thriving in his own backyard. A beautiful irony. The traveler kept walking the streets in wonder. What a fascinating place indeed. A chaotic, vibrant heart on a changing world. What do you think? Are we truly the masters of our own destiny, or are we part of a cycle much older than our oldest bones? Do you think we are the first civilization on Earth? Or is there a history buried deeper than we dare to dig in our search for truth? Or do you think there were many others before us, reaching for the stars and dreaming the same dreams we hold dear today? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. We want to hear your theories and your visions for what came before. Subscribe for more journeys into the unknown. Together, we'll explore the secrets of the stars and the mysteries of our home. Join us as we bridge the gap between our worlds and discover what it truly means to be a survivor in this vast universe. Yours, the Counselor SFTG, always looking towards the horizon, always searching for the truth that binds us all. Remember, the universe is much larger than we can imagine. Keep looking up and keep dreaming of what's possible. Subscribe now to stay connected. There are many more stories to tell and many more worlds for us to discover together. Yours, the Counselor SFTG, until we meet again, between the silent stars and the dust of our shared ancestral home. Stay curious, stay bold. The stars are waiting for us, just as they always have. We will see you in the next chapter.